the true account of the Sallie House. This story is widely regarded as one of the most compelling and terrifying documented haunting cases in the United States, specifically in Atchison, Kansas. The background: in 1992, Tony and Debra Pickman moved into a seemingly charming old Victorian-style house on 508 North 2nd Street. Tony was an EMT, and Debra was a stay-at-home mother. They were completely unaware of the house's dark history. The house had been the site of a tragedy long ago. Around 1872, a young girl named Sallie, approximately 6 years old, was in the house. She developed a sudden severe case of appendicitis. A doctor was summoned to the house to perform emergency surgery, but the operation was unsuccessful, and Sallie died on a table in the downstairs living room, her spirit reportedly trapped in a state of confusion and distress. The initial disturbances, the Pickmans' early experiences were subtle. They would hear faint whispers and small objects moving when no one else was home. Tony initially dismissed it, thinking it was the sound of an old house settling. However, the activity quickly escalated. They started noticing that the lights would flicker, and their dogs would often snarl and bark aggressively at empty spots in the air, particularly near the children's room and the master bedroom. Debra began experiencing unexplained scratches and bruises appearing on her arms and legs while she slept. The focus on Tony. The haunting soon became intensely focused on Tony. One evening, Tony was alone in the living room. The room suddenly dropped in temperature, and a terrifying unseen force threw a heavy clock across the room, narrowly missing his head. From that point on, the entity, which they eventually believed to be Sallie, seemed to show a deep-seated hostility toward Tony. His experiences became more violent. Physical attacks. Tony was frequently woken up by the feeling of being slapped, punched, or pushed off the bed. He would often have visible 3-clawed scratch marks on his back and chest. These marks were so deep they would bleed and would only appear when Tony was in the house. Fire incidents. Several small unexplained fires started in the house, often burning a small section of carpet or a piece of clothing near where Tony was sleeping or resting. The child's laughter. The couple often heard the distinct chilling sound of a young girl's laughter immediately after one of Tony's attacks. This led them to believe the main aggressor was indeed the spirit of Sallie. The revelation and documentation. As the paranormal activity reached an unbearable level, the Pickmans called in paranormal investigators and researchers. These teams confirmed extreme energy fluctuations, high electromagnetic fields (EMF), and captured electronic voice phenomena (EVP), disembodied voices that appeared to confirm Sallie's presence. One investigator captured an EVP of a little girl saying, "I hate him," when referring to Tony. The theories surrounding the aggressive nature suggest that the spirit of Sallie, in her confusion and pain, perceived Tony, an adult male, as the doctor who failed to save her, also an adult male, thus directing her intense anger and fear at him. Others speculate that an even older, darker, non-child entity may be inhabiting the house and simply using the child's spirit as a decoy. The aftermath. The toll on the Pickmans was too great. After almost 4 years of relentless terror and physical harm, especially to Tony, they finally moved out of the Sallie house. The house remains one of the most investigated locations in paranormal history, attracting tourists and researchers alike who continue to report strange noises, disembodied shadows, and physical contact.